Hey, what's up, guys? This is Calen Carr, here outside at beautiful Southern New Hampshire University. And today I'm going back to school to take some soccer concepts and put them in the classroom. I'm about to sit down with Dr. Doug Blais to talk about one of everybody's favorite moments in a match, the nutmeg. You hear it all the time on the training ground, at games, nutmeg, but there's a history behind that word, right?
Yeah, so there's really two trains of thought on the origin of the nutmeg. So one would be the traditional idea that the ball going through a male player's legs is therefore nutmegged.
Okay.
And the other thought or theory behind it is back when England and America were trading partners, and nutmeg was a sought-after commodity, a very expensive commodity, the dealers would put nutmeg on the outsides of the sack, but just fill it with wood in the middle. It would arrive across the pond, the dealer would open it up, and they had been duped, and therefore they were nutmegged.
Okay, so sort of an original trick that's been repurposed on the field?
Absolutely.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. What does it do to a player's psyche when they get nutmegged?
So yeah, there's two reactions: the player who's doing the nutmeg and the one who's been nutmegged. So the player who gets nutmegged, the crowd will erupt because they're excited to see the nutmeg occur. But then the defender immediately, there's a negative reaction, and then that defender is going to try to do everything that they can to recover and make up for the embarrassment that just occurred.
Now, on the side of completing a nutmeg, I always felt like I could do anything after that. Now, is there some sort of backing behind that?
Well, there are two theories. There's the hot hand and the hot hand fallacy theory. So the hot hand theory would indicate successful nutmeg occurs, there's a euphoria associated with that, and that their next move, there's a higher probability that it will be successful, whether it's a pass or a shot, and the success breeds success, and more often they're successful, the higher probability of them being successful in their next move.
Now, what about this hot hand fallacy, though?
So the hot hand fallacy would be the other side of the debate, where people feel that there is no such thing, that this is something that's made up in the media, so that a successful nutmeg is just that. It's one play and it's successful, and that it doesn't breed or lead to any additional success.
Okay, so there's some on one side, some on the other. Where do you stand?
So there's a recent research that was published or presented at the MIT Sport Analytics Conference this past year. And they really did a nice job showing that statistically there is an argument for the hot hand, that as a player was successful, each successful attempt breeded additional successful attempts. So it backed up that there is such thing as a hot hand.
You see some guys going for the meg every chance they get, and some guys are too afraid to even think about trying it. What's the profile of a guy who's going to pull this off?
It's definitely a high-risk move. So the player that's going to pull that off is someone that's artistic, that's self-confident, and that is willing to take that risk to see themselves on the highlight reel.
There's a risk involved to trying a nutmeg. I feel like the numbers probably aren't in our favor. Should we be trying it as much as we are?
Well, I think you're absolutely right, and I think you'll see most of the nutmegs will occur in the central third or attacking third. I don't think a coach is going to want a defender, trying to do a nutmeg in the defensive third. But a successful nutmeg is going to excite the player, it's going to excite his teammates, and it's going to excite the fans. So I think, for most players, it is worth that risk.